welcome to Enjoy English. I'm Alice.
大家好，我是 Bernice.
And today we're talking about the return of the pop punk queen. We're talking about a biography of Avril Lavigne.
我们今天进入到我们人物传记的第2天的课程。那么今天呢，我们一样的主角呢，就是这个艾薇儿庞克女神的回归。
We learned a little bit about her last time, right?
没错。
But there's a lot more to learn. She's a really interesting person. So
没错。
let's look at that, huh?
好的。
Return of the Pop Punk Queen. 2007 was a big year for Avril Lavigne. She released her third album, The Best Damn Thing, which took her career to the next level. The first single, Girlfriend, was a global hit, and its music video was also the first video to reach 100 million views on YouTube. Between 2002 and 2013, she put out 5 very successful studio albums and toured worldwide. In 2014, Lavigne was diagnosed with Lyme disease, a bacterial infection caused by a tick bite. During the worst stages of the illness, Lavigne was too weak to even get out of bed. The disease kept her out of the spotlight for almost 4 years. Her experience inspired her to raise awareness of Lyme disease via the Avril Lavigne Foundation. Lavigne returned in 2019 with her 6th album, Head Above Water. The singer described the album as an emotional journey following her recovery. Through this journey, she found herself falling in love with music all over again. Fans across the world were delighted to see Lavigne return to full power with the release of her 7th album, Love Sucks. With this album, she'd like people to know their self-worth and put themselves first. After 20 years in the music industry, Avril Lavigne is still at the top of her game.
Okay, let's get started. So we have 2007 was a big year for Avril Lavigne. So if something's a big year for you, it doesn't mean that the year was actually like longer or anything like that, right? A year is always the same, but it's just that if it's a big year for you, it means it was like really significant or special or important in some way.
没错，所以刚刚老师解释啦，这个 year 每个人一年都是365天，那为什么说 big year 呢？就是说这一年对你来说很特别、很重要，好，意义非常重大。那这一年呢，对于这个艾薇儿来说呢，是2007年，这一年对她来说特别的重要。
She released her 3rd album, The Best Damn Thing, which took her career to the next level. So if you take something to the next level, it kind of means like you step it up, right? Yeah, it's like she was doing good before, right? We already know that she already had hit singles and topped the charts, but if you take her career to the next level, that means she becomes even more famous, right? She released, earned more money, right? Got more listens or more people listening to her, right? More fans. It's like the next level.
没错，所以刚才老师在解释这个 take 什么东西 to the next level， 就是说跟你这个人现在在做一个比较。就是我们已经知道艾薇儿她已经算是很知名的歌手了，可是呢又把她再往上带到她下一层楼里面，表示她就像老师刚刚讲，可能赚了更多钱了，她的专辑更多人卖了更多了，更多人知道这个人了。好，那个时候呢是在2007年，为什么对她来说是这么重要的一年呢？因为在她那一年的时候呢，她发行了她的第3张的专辑，那么这个专辑名称呢，中文翻成美丽坏东西，好，就有一个字里面有一个脏话，但是这个脏话我个人是觉得还可以接受啦，哈，好，就是那个 DAMN 啊，我相信不用教你们这些字你们都会。好，这个专辑呢怎么样呢？就把他的这个事业啊往上又带到了更高的一层楼了。
The first single, Girlfriend, was a global hit, and its music video was also the first video to reach 100 million views on YouTube. So to reach something. In this case, right, there is to reach like a real thing, like if I reach for the tape or I reach for the cup, right? But in this case, it's the first video to reach 100 million views. So in this case, it's just like to get to, right? So the video got to 100 million views or has 100 million views.
没错，所以老师刚刚讲 reach 通常是指你手伸出去可以摸到那个范围，所以你看你手要伸出去，一定是从这边里面慢慢伸到最外面去，对不对？所以就跟它往上爬是一样，不可能有人一步登天的，你一定是慢慢的一个阶段性的。所以呢，它的第一首的这个单曲呢，就叫 Girlfriend， 好，这个女朋友这首歌呢，当时呢就是一个 global hit， 就在全球就已经风靡了 ，hit 就是非常的这个畅销，非常的这个受欢迎了。Global 就是 worldwide， 就全世界大家都知道。而且呢，他当时呢这一首歌里面的这一个所谓的 music video， 通常都会拍一个 video。当时呢，也同样呢是第一部 video 可以达到有1亿的点击率的一个在 YouTube 的点击率，所以你看，当时有1亿个人同时在观赏这样的一个，就是点击他的这样的一个 video， 可见他的这首歌有多么样的受到欢迎。
Between 2002 and 2013, she put out 5 very successful studio albums and toured worldwide. So when artists like release studio albums, usually the verb we use that is they released albums or they put out albums. It's just like how we say, they don't just like give it or something. You don't say like a word like that. You say you release an album or put out an album.
没有错，所以老师刚才解释很清楚，我们不会用 give 这个字，很怪啊。那所以如果我们讲这些歌手他发行了一个专辑，或者是什么样的 writer 啊 author 他发行了一本书，那我们就会用 release， 是刚才我们学过的，那 put out 也是可以的。好，所以他那个时候是在2002年，然后一直到2013年这整个期间呢，他呢总共发行了怎么样5张都非常成功的工作室里面的这样的一个录音室里面这样的专辑，而且呢，他甚至还有 tour 的，这个 tour 就是巡回比赛，就是巡回表演这样子，他甚至到全世界去做一个巡回的演出。
So let's take a break and then we'll learn more.
好的。
Okay, let's continue. So in 2014, Lavigne was diagnosed with Lyme disease, a bacterial infection caused by a tick bite. So when you get a disease, right, usually you have to go to the doctor to figure out what's wrong because you don't always know what you have, right? And when you go to the doctor, usually the doctor will diagnose you, right? Or you were diagnosed by the doctor. That means the doctor basically tells you what you have or figures out what you have. So in Avril Lavigne's case, she had Lyme disease. She was diagnosed with Lyme disease.
这个歌手呢很有名，可是他在2014年出了一点状况。就是他当时呢被医生诊断，所以 diagnose 就像刚才老师说，他是诊断，所以你不可能自己诊断说，我得了什么病，不可能嘛，除非你是医生啦哈。所以他被医生呢诊断出来 with， 他得到这个病的名称呢称之为莱姆病。这个病是个什么病呢？他说它就是一种细菌上面的一种 infection， 就是被感染了。那这个细菌的感染是 caused， 是被什么导致而成的呢？主要是因为你被那个 tick bite， 那个 tick 就是一些，比如说我们家里面很潮湿，然后那个墙壁上面啊或床上面就会长一些那种壁虱啊，就是这种小虫虫，很像 spider， 很像小小的那个小蜘蛛一样。对，它可能就是被它这样子咬到，那因为它会吸血。好，然后它被咬到之后呢，就细菌上的感染，就当时可能你会觉得痒痒的，这样抓一抓就好了，但是可能被感染到了，所以你就产生了这样的一个疾病。那这个疾病呢，我去查了一下，它的症状跟感冒很像，跟流行性感冒很像，就是流鼻水啊、头痛啊、发烧这样，所以可能一般人只是说 OK， 我就是感冒 I have a cold， 对不对？所以可能没有特别的去料理这个病。那只是呢，后来才被诊断出，它不是一般的小感冒，而是它真的就是得到了一个病，叫做莱姆病，这样子。
During the worst stages of the illness, Lavigne was too weak to even get out of bed, which to me is kind of scary actually because just a small tick, right, can cause you so much pain. And if she can't even get out of bed, you know she must be really weak or really ill.
没错，所以你看，就像老师说的，你不过被一个小小的虫子咬到，谁知道会变成这么严重，对不对？所以在他这个 illness， 就是他这个生病的期间的这个 stage， 就是这个时期，而且是最糟糕的那个时期，也就是病最严重的时期呢，他病到怎么样呢 ？too 就是太怎么样，而没有办法做下面这件事。他当时病到了实在是太过于虚弱，甚至呢，他想要下个床。上个厕所，这个喝个水，可能都没有办法。
The disease kept her out of the spotlight for almost 4 years. So that's why, right, she didn't release albums, she didn't go touring because she was sick, right? She couldn't really do it even if she wanted to.
没错，所以你看这个疾病真的是蛮严重的。你看将近是4年的时间。这样子的一个疾病呢，让他一直在这个聚光灯之外out of keep out of， 就是说让他没有办法走进这个聚光灯里面，意思就是说让他在这个淡出聚光灯，而且淡出了将近4年的时间。
Her experience inspired her to raise awareness of Lyme disease via the Avril Lavigne Foundation. So if you raise awareness of something, usually it means that you're trying to increase, like raise, right? Increase awareness or how many people know about something. So maybe if I want to raise awareness of cancer, right, I might tell people about cancer by passing out flyers or just even verbally talking about it. You're raising awareness or letting more people know about something.
没有错，所以刚才老师解释得很清楚 raise awareness of something 就是说呢可能一般的人对于某一个特殊的一个 issue 或者一个什么样的 subject 他可能不是很清楚，那这时候呢借由我，比如说我是很了解这样的一个问题的人，就由我来告诉大家，或者是举办一些什么样的发表会或者是说明会来让大家参加，或在网络上面发传单等等等，让大家知道对这个东西提高你认知的这个意识。好，这时候就是我们就用到 raise awareness of something。那他的当时的经验，因为他让他这个身心备受折磨，连下个床都没有办法了，所以他决定怎么样呢 ？inspire her， 就让他激发了、激励了、鼓舞了他自己，就是说我不能因为这个疾病就倒下去了，所以我要做的是什么事呢？我要让更多的人知道这个疾病的严重性，所以他提升了大家对于这个莱姆病的一些认知。那么他借由这个透过什么样的方式呢？他透过他当时自己成立了他的这样的一个基金会，所以他 foundation 就是一个 organization， 一个这样的一个组织，就是说大家为了一个比如说筹募基金啦，或者是为了一个什么东西计划而一起去努力这样的一个基金会。他透过这样的一个基金会呢，来让他自己呢这个第一个让大家提升这样的一个想法，第二个也是激励他自己的一个方式。
Lavigne returned in 2019 with her 6th album, Head Above Water. So in 2019, right, after many years of being sick, she came back, right? She made a comeback, you could say, right? And her 6th album is called Head Above Water.
所以你看他这一个专辑的名称呢，就是很像他这个生完病再回来，对不对？你把你的头 above water， 就我要呼吸一个新鲜的空气，我不能让这个水淹过我，我一定要活下来那个感觉。所以他是在2019年的时候呢，终于回归了。那这时候他带的是他的第6张专辑，那么我们中文的名称翻成浴火重生。
The singer described the album as an emotional journey following her recovery. So in this case, right, a journey is you're going somewhere, right? Or it's like you're traveling somewhere. But usually like an emotional journey doesn't mean you're physically going anywhere, but just that you're kind of like your inside, right? Like your feelings, your thoughts, like just you on the inside, you're making a journey, like a sort of changes that happened within you.
没错，所以他因为得到这样的一个疾病，确实让他的生活有很大的转变，所以才说到是一种 emotional journey， 就是不是你真的人去旅行了，而是你的情感、你的情绪上面，你的内在可能有了一些不一样的想法跟这个感受。所以呢 The Singer 当然就是指艾薇儿啦，他当时就描述他这样的一个专辑，他怎么描述呢 ？As 他说呢，就很像是一趟情感之旅。而且呢是 following 就是追随着跟随着怎么样呢他的 recovery， 也就是在他的 after 他的 recovery 之后，那他觉得他想要出这样的一个专辑来特别的表示一种你的心情上面情绪上面的一个情感之旅。
Through this journey, she found herself falling in love with music all over again. When you say like all over again, that means it happens like everything happened once again, one more time.
没错，所以呢就是他曾经爱过，现在再来重新的又爱上一次，所以就是因为透过这样的一个情感之旅呢，他后来发现他真的是深深的爱上了自己，又重新的爱上音乐这个东西，而且是再一次的爱上。
So let's take a break and then we'll continue.
好的。
Okay, let's keep going. So, fans across the world were delighted to see Lavigne return to full power with the release of her 7th album, Love Sucks.
这个句子讲的是呢 fans across the world 就全世界各地的这个粉丝呢，在当时都非常的 delighted 就是 happy， 非常的快乐，看见呢原来当时呢艾薇儿呢她可以带着她的第7张的专辑那名称呢就是刚才这个老师念的 Love Sucks 这个第7张的专辑可以呢强势回归，因为他这边讲到的是 full power 就是完完全全的力量，好，然后来做他的这个 release， 可以来发行他的第7张的专辑。
With this album, she'd like people to know their self-worth and put themselves first. So self-worth is basically, if something's worth something, right, that means it's how much it's valued or how much, not only money, right, but it can be money or just like how much, how much it's worth to someone. Like maybe you can say like this book is not worth a lot of money, but it's worth a lot to me, right? I mean, it's really important to me. I value it. And self-worth is how, I guess, you value yourself, right? How important you are to yourself.
没错，所以呢就在他这一个希望透过这个第7张的专辑呢，他其实呢也是希望呢想要让人们呢去了解到你自己的自我价值，因为他生过了这么样严重的疾病，所以你才知道你自己的存在对于这个世界即便是小小的贡献，可是你要知道这个贡献这个价值在哪里，所以他希望透过第7张专辑让大家都知道你的自我价值，还有呢你要把你自己摆在第一个顺位，意思就是说你做什么事情一定要先考虑到自己这样子。
After 20 years in the music industry, Avril Lavigne is still at the top of her game. So this phrase, like the top of your game, usually just means that you're at your best, right? So often you can hear it talked about with basketball players or other sports figures. They can be like at the top of their game. That means they're at like their best condition. And here, she's at the top of her game with music, right? She's still doing her best music. It's not like her music's worse than it was before. It's still really good.
没错，所以老师刚才讲了 at the top of one's game， 就是说你在你的这个领域里面就是最棒的，你表现的尽全力表现最好的地方，所以他就说了，即使在过了20年，好，这样子他在音乐界，好 industry 就是产业，在音乐界里面这样子好打滚了20年，可是呢 Avril 呢实在还是呢依旧处在这样的他的音乐界里面，他是属于这个巅峰的一个时期，所以呢意思就是说他还是这么样的受欢迎。
And one thing I wanted to note on the album name, Love Sucks. Sucks is not actually spelled like S-U-X, right? We know it's S-U-C-K-S, but it's just a artistic choice, right? A stylistic choice. But just wanted everyone to know.
对，老师要提醒你说，那个字不是这样子拼的，其实是 S-U-C-K-S 这个拼法。对。
So let's take a break and then talk about vocabulary.
好的。
All right, let's do vocabulary. So we have take something to the next level, right? That means you're stepping it up a notch. That means you're getting better at something or something's getting better.
也就是什么东西呢更上了一层楼，变得更好了。
Put out. Again, in this case, she put out albums. It's the same thing as releasing albums.
没错，发表、发布的意思。
Be diagnosed with. So if you're sick or you get injured, you have to go to the doctor, and the doctor will diagnose you, or you will be diagnosed with something.
也就是你被诊断患有什么样的疾病。
Infection. So if you have an infection, right, it's different than a virus. A virus spreads kind of like virally, like person to person. Infections are caused usually by bacteria, right? And so infection, in this case, it's a bacterial infection, right, caused by a tick bite. So infection.
名词呢，这边表示感染的意思。
And then we also have raise awareness of. So that means more people are knowing about something because you're trying to raise awareness of something.
提升对于什么的一个意识。
And then we have foundation. This is a noun, right? It's like similar to an organization or just like a group of people that they aim to do something.
没错，基金会。
Then we have all over again. So it happening once again, everything's repeating itself.
没错，再度的，再一次的。
And delighted, not just happy, but really happy, delighted.
对，形容词兴高采烈的。
So that's all we have today, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.